Good evening. A 1-year-old girl has died after she was hit by a car on a driveway in Leeds. Emergency services were called to Coupland Road in Beeston at about 8 o'clock last night. The toddler was seriously injured and was taken to hospital, but she died shortly afterwards. West Yorkshire Police say inquiries are ongoing and specialist officers are working to support the family at this tragic time. Well, in other news, more people have been travelling from our region to the capital today. That's despite the 5-mile-long queue to see Her Majesty the Queen lying in state. Julie Smith is from Castleford and felt compelled to go and visit Westminster Hall, even though she's going to be standing in that queue all evening and late into the night.
So we set off at 4:30 this morning and we've now arrived in London. It took us 5.5 hours to get here, driven down, and now we've joined the end of the queue. It said at the beginning that it was a 14-hour queue, and we just happened to be here. Don't know what to expect, very emotional, but I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Well, Queen Elizabeth II was the patron of more than 500 charities, but few of them were part of her life for as long as the Girl Guides. She was just 11 years old when she became a guide, earning badges for swimming, first aid and horse riding. Navtej Johal has been to meet some of the girls who followed in Her Majesty's footsteps.
I promise that I will do my best to be true to myself and develop my beliefs, to serve the Queen and my community, to help other people and to keep the guide law.
A promise which girls have been reciting for decades. And when it comes to doing one's best, they have few better examples than their patron.
She was in our club.
Established more than a century ago, the Queen was a member of what was then known as Girl Guides, a girl-only organisation where they can take part in activities ranging from camping to creative arts. In 1937, when she was just 11 years old, the then Princess Elizabeth became a guide, and her sister Margaret a brownie. They were part of the first Buckingham Palace Guide Company, and this group in York feel a kinship with one of their own.
She was a girl guide and so am I, so that we're linked by organisation.
I'm really proud actually, knowing that our Queen, who was the ruler of our country, did these same things that I've done.
This is a picture of the Queen's wedding cake, the fruit for which came from the Girl Guides of Australia. And although as the wording of the promise and the laws are slightly changed over the years to be relevant to the girls and young women, I think the Queen has always lived by the promise she made and the laws she made.
The promise the girls recite will change soon, referring to the King rather than the Queen. But much like their most famous member, their commitment remains unwavering. Navtej Johal, BBC News.
Next, a doctor from Leeds has completed an 8-day run from Scotland to Yorkshire in memory of his wife, who died from motor neurone disease. John Hamlin began his 165-mile journey in Melrose and crossed the finish line at Headingley Stadium in Leeds this afternoon. His wife Susie passed away in 2018. She would have been 50 tomorrow. John's raised over £22,000 for the MND Association.
Every time I struggled a little bit, I thought of Susie and the struggle she went through. What we're struggling with is nothing compared to the daily struggle of motor neurone disease, and so we really need to do something to research into the causes of it and try and ultimately find a cure for it.
Oh, well done to him. Let's get the weather now. Here's Kat.
Hello there, some clear spells at first this evening, then overnight cloud amounts will increase. It does stay breezy along the coast. We may get 1 or 2 showers feeding in off the North Sea, and temperatures tonight less cold than last night. We're looking at lows of around 9 or 10 degrees. So a bit of a mixed bag out there tomorrow. It does stay breezy along the coast. There'll be some showery spots of rain on and off through the course of the day, and that cloud will break occasionally to allow for some bright or sunny spells, highs of around 16 degrees. Then the ridge of high pressure will build into Monday, so plenty of dry weather around.
Thanks, Kat. Well, tomorrow night we have a special edition of Look North here on BBC One. We're going to be looking back at how this region has paid tribute to the Queen over the past week. Do join us then. Bye-bye.